Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. This is a game I wanted to cover on my channel for the Castlevania month that I'm doing, and primarily because I think it's kind of got a bad rap. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this one up and we're going to go through it. I'm going to explain why I think people are a little harsh on this game. Some of it's justified, some of it I feel like isn't, but we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to kick this off, and you're going to notice that you're going to start in town as soon as it'll let me. Yes. First thing you're going to notice is the music in this game is a step up from the original Castlevania. I mean, just listen to this for a few minutes. And that's just random music in town. I mean, that's nothing special. That's just you hanging in town. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and buy a white crystal. You absolutely have to have this in the game. It's one of the required items. Now, you start with 50 hearts in this game, which I've already spent, so that puts me down to 0. You'll also notice I've got a timer here. It's labeled as T. The first octet is going to be days. The second octet is going to be hours, and the other octet is going to be minutes. That's there because you're kind of under a time limit in this game. The premise behind this game is that Simon has gotten basically cursed, and he's going to die in roughly like 8 days. So the point is to get through the game in 8 days or less to save Simon from his curse and defeat Dracula once and for all. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and continue on to do a little bit of grinding here. And I'll get into some of the other features of this start menu a little bit later. So let's go ahead and head out of town, because a lot of your early game, unfortunately, in this game is grindy. And that brings us to pretty much everybody's first criticism of this game, which admittedly is somewhat justified, and that's that it's a little grindy. The game itself was basically designed to be slightly different, and the reason it was designed to be different is because Simon is in a different state of his life at this point. He is not the healthy, virile person that went into Dracula's castle and single-handedly whooped his ass. He is effectively dying as of this. And so as such, the game is designed around a more methodical RPG thought process as Simon works through all this and tries to not only save himself, but Transylvania as well. So, ooh, those jumpers. No bueno. No bueno! So what we're going to do is we're going to farm up a little bit, because there's 2 items you need in the starting town. One is the white crystal. The second is the holy water. Now, the holy water isn't as overpowered as it was back in the day of the original Castlevania. However, it's got a lot more utility here, and it's absolutely 100% necessary to complete the game. I was talking about this with a friend of mine who's also a big fan of this game. And I'm like, you know what, I don't think you can finish the game without the holy water. And he's like, no, absolutely not. There's areas of the game that are only accessible with the holy water. And we'll get into that as the game goes along. But it's useful for multiple reasons. So we're going to work towards that. So we're going to spend our first day kind of doing this. Now, when nighttime hits in this game, you can't shop. You can't go into town. Well, you can go into town, but you can't talk to people. And the reason for that is the town is pretty much under siege as the monsters go stronger at night. One of the things that happens is all these monsters out here go from taking like 1 and 2 hits to taking 2 and 4 hits, as you'll notice while I'm going ahead and grinding out through here. That's in part because of the strength that they gain, because Dracula's power grows at night. So at the end of the first game, to kind of back up a little bit, Dracula was defeated and exploded into multiple components. Well, those components were scattered across all of Transylvania. Okay, I'm at 72, so I got enough to buy the holy water. It only cost 50. And they were locked away in mansions. Now, those mansions were put under guard, and it was hoped that by keeping Dracula's components separate, he would not be able to resurrect. And so that's what you're fighting at on this game, is you're fighting to basically get in to get those components so you can resurrect him so you can kill him again. He's going to resurrect himself eventually anyway. The growing power of the monsters at night is pretty much a clear indicator of that. And the people in the towns that you run into in this game feel that presence. They're absolutely terrified. Like, we'll go into town and I'll show you something. Like, that ghoul right there, that ghoul is just running around, like, terrifying the whole town. Everybody has basically boarded up their windows and doors and they're hiding inside their house. That's why you can't shop at night. Because the towns are basically under siege at night. So you can't do any shopping. The other reason for the day-night cycle is basically to give you that sense of urgency. Time is slipping away. Simon doesn't have much time. Every day is precious. And you should feel that when you're playing this game. You should feel the oppression of, oh my god, another day has gone by and I'm still not done yet. What do I do? How do I do this better? How do I do this faster? It's meant to give you that sense of urgency that you would have with the timer in the original Castlevania, just in a different, more oppressive way of feeling it. And that's what it's for. That's why it's there. That's why I don't mind that particular feature. I know people do, and I know people don't like the grindiness of it, but it all means something in the composition of the game. And that was done purposefully. When Agamotto made this game series, he wanted it to be cinematic in scope. He wanted Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 2 to be one cohesive story. That was the point. So he wanted this to feel that kind of oppressive urgency, the danger, the risk, you're going to perish. You may not be able to finish this task before you die. And it needs to be done. So not only for you, but for others. So what we're going to do is we've gone ahead and equipped the white crystal and we equipped the holy water. The holy water is necessary to be able to get anywhere in the game, and the white crystal is very necessary for the very first mansion, and I'll explain why when we get there. And again, the music here is outstanding. Just listen. You've got that upbeat tempo, that pounding pace that makes you just want to like push and push and push in this game. It's phenomenal. And the art style, the stages, they've done a really good job of detailing out the forest. You can see the mountains in the background. It's a very beautiful NES game for its time. There we go. This is a tricky spot, if you guys haven't noticed by me navigating it. Oof. Wow, I can't believe I cleared that. There we go. Okay. Those guys can easily just knock you off into the water, and it's pretty much an insta-kill. There we go. And I'm not going to have enough, no, I'm not, by the time we get to the next town, to be able to buy the whip upgrade I'm looking for. Now, there was a whip upgrade in the first town, and I deliberately skipped it. There are 4 variants on the whip, and what you just saw there was me leveling up, by the way, to interject myself. Once your experience hits a certain level, you gain a level. You'll notice the L on my menu with 1. It means I gained a singular level, and that's why my health replenished. A lot of people think it's a random heart that drops that gives you all your energy back. It's not. It's you leveling up in the game, which gives you a little bit more health, I think, and a little bit more damage. It's kind of indistinct and not very clear. Your biggest upgrades are going to be by upgrading your whip, which segues back into what I was talking about before. You have the leather whip. You can get the thorn whip in the first town for 100. You can get the chain whip in the town after that for 150, and then the morning star for 200. And then there's a flame whip on top of all of those. So you have more whip upgrades in this than in any other Castlevania game pretty much ever, I think. I don't think there were that many in many of the others. Maybe Bloodlines. Now down there is the town that I want. I'm not going to go down there yet because I don't have enough. I've only got 104. And I need 150. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pursue the first body part of Dracula. There we go. Oof. Okay. 2 and then done. Move over here. And this will also bring us into something else that I want to cover about this game that many people kind of ignore. Once you're in the mansions, we're going to pay attention to this. You're at day 1, hour 15, minute 28 in the game. We'll check back in on that. Also notice that you can see this platform. That's because I'm using the white crystal. You can't see this floating platform without it. The blue platform, that's why it's necessary. You can still use it, but you can't see it. So the chances of you being able to like actually get on this platform, pretty low unless you have the white crystal. And regardless, you still need it to progress in the game because you have to trade that item later on. Yeah, thought he was a single hit. So we're just going to press on through here because there's another item that we have to buy while we're in here. In each one of the mansions, in order to get Dracula's body part, you have to buy... Ooh, that was close. You have to buy an oak stake. And it costs 50 hearts. Okay, cool. You always need to turn back and hit that guy, because there's always a second one that comes up when you're trying to do these platforms. There we go. Cool. Alright, cool. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we're going to dart up here. And then I'll show you the next tactic that they use in this that frustrates a lot of people. Once you learn the game, it's not as big of a deal, but it does add a level of paranoia when you first start playing. And that's that some of these blocks aren't real. They're intangible. Like that. There's 2 missing right there. So you can't just jump onto that block. You have to jump 2 in. Now there aren't any more on this section, so you're just safe to proceed. Really? I hate this guy. Dang it. He's gonna kill me just because he won't get in range of the stupid whip. Come on. There we go. Alright. Probably gonna die in here at least once. I'm terrible at dealing with those guys because they keep jumping out of my range. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Just gonna have to fall down. Mostly because I don't want to deal with that guy and die right there. Alright, let's go ahead and deal with this guy. There we go. And then we're going to head back up and we're going to go talk to the guy that'll actually sell us the oak stake. Let's not take any unnecessary hits while we're talking to the camera. Good plan. So let's go over here and just talk to him. Invest in an oak stake. Yes. Pay the 50. And just go ahead and drop down here and go down here. So we're going to go down one more level here, and then, oops, we're not going to do that because he will hit us. Now, right around here is where I actually start using the holy water because I can never remember where this gap is, but there is one. Right there. You see that? Let's play that again. See that? Yeah. That's kind of like one last middle finger from the game as you're trying to finish this mansion. Because if you notice, right here's the component. Here comes the next thing you don't want to do. Don't have this equipped before you get here, because if you use it, you're going to just have to go back and spend 50 hearts. You only get one. You can go back and buy it inside the same mansion, but it's a single-use item. Like that. Now, this is probably one of the most key and useful Dracula items in the game. Primarily because it acts like a shield. This thing reflects fireballs. It doesn't protect you from like physical damage from the skeletons and stuff like that, but it does have other protective features. And then I usually just drop down here and then come over here, because this is kind of a shortcut out. Not that we're going to go directly out. We have 100 hearts. We need 150 for the next whip, and we really need that and a couple other items in the next town. So we're going to farm in here a little bit more. And we're probably going to get killed in here at least once, would be my thought, because I'm not very good at this section of the game. The early game is pretty much the hardest section for me. And now's a good time to go into the hearts themselves. A small heart is worth 2 hearts. A half heart, a half large heart, is worth 4 hearts. And a big whole heart is worth 6 hearts, making this one of the more efficient early game places to farm for hearts. So we're going to farm till about 150, because we're probably going to have to go through another night time outside. But I also don't want to lose a lot of health in here to these guys, because I don't want to lose all that progress that we made gathering the hearts. This guy with the spear is going to freaking ruin my day. Because if you die, you lose all your hearts, and then we have to waste more time farming. That's really what it comes down to. Since you're under a time crunch, it's pretty punishing to lose all your hearts. There we go. So we're at 152. I'm going to farm just a little bit more, and then we're going to get the heck out of here. Because we're going to go to a safer area, frankly. Alright, we're going to get out of here. That's probably plenty. That's probably right around 170, 174. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. There'll be one more of those guys here, and he's kind of a nightmare because he likes to jump a lot. Dang, he got me again. Those guys come in and lose their mind, and like I literally have a super hard time hitting them. We should be able to still get to town and not die, which is the key thing. I'm not too worried about having to continue in this game, as long as I'm not sitting on like 256 hearts, which is the max amount you can carry in the game. Because the last thing I'm going to have to do is waste more time in the game farming that I don't need to do. So we're going to head back this way, because you don't want to go any further to the right yet, because it gets much more difficult as you progress further. Woo! I usually never do that. I thought I was going to get killed. There we go. We're going to see if we can get in here under the time limit. So if I can get in here and get the chain whip, then I'll consider that a coup. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm a little too close, but we're going to find out. We have to come back out. We have to come back out. It's no big deal. There we go. I've never made it to that town doing it the way I do it in under 2 days. I've just never done it. Which usually means I spend the night out here farming again. Because there's nothing you can do in town again, because everybody's boarded up their windows and doors and are all hiding. Even if you can get to the vendors won't let you in anyway, because you can't even walk in the door. So we're going to spend our time right here, because this is the next safest place to farm, and we actually want time to pass right now. This is by no means an easy Castlevania game. It's easy by Castlevania standards, but it's not exactly what I'd call the easiest of games, partially because it's cryptic. And part of the reason it's actually cryptic is the townsfolk aren't on your side. They're terrified out of their mind. I mean, they're going through all this stuff like attacking them at night, and they think you're just going to make it worse bringing Dracula back. So another one of the gripes is that the townspeople don't give you really good tips on how to solve the game. Well, that's intentional. They mean to do that because they don't want Dracula resurrected. They have enough problems. They don't need that too. And they're not sure you're going to be able to pull it off because you look like you're dead. I mean, you're literally dead man walking. So they don't really want to deal with your nonsense right now. So they straight up lying. So we're going to farm here just a little while longer. We're not quite, I don't think, if I remember my timing right on this, going to be able to get a full 256 mega hearts. But we're going to get close. Which will be good, because we need quite a bit out of this town. And then after this, the farming gets significantly lower. And the reason for that is you've gotten a large chunk of the items that you need out of the game at that point that you have to spend money on. And then the rest of it's just being able to navigate the game, make it through the dungeons, and get all the pieces. So it gets significantly easier. There's pretty much like one more item that you need to buy, and then the rest you can get from the items that you purchase in here. So you're almost done with like the long grindy part of the game within under a half hour of the game. So it's not that bad when you really look at it. It's just a little more methodical than people are used to out of a Castlevania game. They're used to constantly making progress, dying, getting kicked back a little bit, and then having to, you know, start again. So, again, this music is pretty phenomenal. Oh no, I didn't need to take that hit. That's okay. There's a church in town, which is the only other way to gain your health back aside from leveling up in the game. There's no wall meat, which makes me a sad panda. You guys know I love my wall meat. Saves my banking. Yep, I've maxed out my heart counter. There we go. Okay, so now it's morning. We've got the max number of hearts that we can carry. Let's go shopping. So we're going to dart into town real quick and we're going to get this done. I was so paranoid, I'm like, no! I literally tried to whip him in the face. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get the whip. And that's up here. Now, and the reason you need more hearts than you actually need for the item is because, look, there's nothing here. Well, actually there is. And there's a reason for this too. At least this is my reasoning for it. I never found anything written up on it. But I suspect that these guys have kind of boarded themselves up inside their house further because the town folks are not super happy with the fact that they're willing to do business with you. So if you can make it to them, they will sell you things, but they're not sticking their neck out, man. They've got their own problems. They got to live here too. So they don't need any more crap from you. Is really what it boils down to. Now, if I recall, there's not any... Actually, I'm a little bit wrong. There's nothing else we need in this town. It's the next town we need things from. Hopefully, I can make it there and I get killed, because I don't think there's a church in the next town. There's not a church in every single town in this game, which is one of the things that makes it kind of hard. This guy will sell you a knife. I don't really want the knife. I don't find the knife that useful. It's got too limited range, and there's better options in the game than the knife that we're going to get on our way to the next town, matter of fact. So we're going to wait on him, and then go up. Boom! And you're not going to notice much of a difference during the daytime with these guys, because they all take one hit. But you will notice you got a little bit more range than you had before. But this is going to make Nightfall significantly easier. 1, 2, and down you go. There we go. And there's one other item on the way to the next town that we're going to pick up. Like I said, had I been able to pick that up before I went here, this would have been a little bit smoother transition. This is just how I've gotten used to doing it. You guys may have a better way of approaching it, and that's fine. There's multiple ways to approach this, and you don't necessarily have to do everything in the way I want. It's kind of an open world game, and it's done that way intentionally. So you have a sense of empowerment as far as how you approach this quest you're on. That's fully intended. Ow. Didn't need that. There we go. At least it's only one hit. Not that big of a deal. Boop. Boop. Up we go. Ow. Now we're going... You're making me angry, eyeball. Come here. Oof. Alright. Right in here is what's called the Sacred Flame. Now, you don't have to get this to complete the game. I recommend that you get it because it makes pretty much every boss save one trivial. And there aren't that many bosses in this game to begin with, so it's probably best just to go ahead and just deal with them in the easiest manner you can and go about your day. Oh, I hope I don't get too wrecked here. This part's always bad. Ow. Okay. Now, if you keep pressing the direction that you were pressing, or you've already activated an attack, you're not going to get hurt when it goes nightfall. But you are going to notice those things are one hit. Those were like 2-3 hits before, so the fact that they're one hit now is phenomenal. And we're going to go ahead and go past this area because that's where the next mansion is, but you can't get in there yet. There's something in the next town that you have to have. Spiders. Alright, we're gonna hang out in here because this is safer than where we were, and there's a couple items we need to pick up here. Not a ton, but a few. But we're gonna do our farming in here because we should be able to deal with these guys in very few hits. That's interesting. That one always takes 30, which is comical, because if we go up here, I noticed this the last time I ran through this game. Like, if I go up the stairs, these guys, I think, take one hit. But the one downstairs takes 3. I don't know if that's a coding glitch or if that's intentional. One hit. Very weird. So, quick farming tip. If you're going to do farming in this town, then do it up here. And don't fool with downstairs. But I mostly just want to be in this town because if I buy everything I need to buy and I don't die during this nighttime, which it's unlikely, possible, but unlikely, then I should have enough to buy everything that I need to buy out of here, and that'll be the majority of the shopping save one thing that needs to be done in the game. After that, it's all quickly downhill. Since there's nothing else I can do here except for to go into the next mansion, which I can't even get into anyway because I don't have the right crystal, I may as well just do this for a little while. Again, the music in this game really does get you in the mood. How dark and eerie the town looks is amazing. There's a lot to admire about this game. Come on. Come on, you know you want to go daylight. You know you want to. Give up the daylight. There we go. Alright, since we're up here, instead of climbing all the way back up here, which is the other reason we came up here in the first place that I almost forgot about, we need to get the next crystal. Now, in various different towns, you'll see guys like this. He would like to exchange a white crystal for a blue crystal. Congratulations, you now have the next crystal you need. You can now progress further in the game. And we'll go into why you need this in a little bit. But right now we're going to do some more shopping. And then get the heck out of here and go into the next dungeon. And I forgot to show you guys that Tom didn't move in that dungeon, but it didn't. We'll try that again. here. I can't remember. I think this is the wrong vendor. I think this is the lady that just gives you a tip. No, it's an actual vendor. Fantastic. Okay. I think I want... Yeah. Yes. He has laurels. We want 2 of these. You can carry 4 in the beginning of the game, and there's an item that lets you double that capacity to 8. I usually get the one that doubles your capacity to 8, but right now we can't get to him, so we're going to take the 4 we can get out of here. And then we're going to go to the next vendor, and then we're going to immediately leave town, because there's not a priest in this town. Now there's more items that I'm picking up in this game. Right now I'm going for the best ending in the game. So that's just the run that I'm doing. And there's a lot of unnecessary items in the early part of the game. So I'm just skipping them. I think this guy's over here. Nope. There we go. And this guy, I believe, sells garlic. Not a necessary item, but it does allow you to get a couple other items. So I always recommend buying at least the base of 2. So now you're going to notice we've got our chain whip, we've got 4 laurels, we've got 2 garlic, we've got the sacred flame and the holy water. That's all in like 3 days. So we've done the bulk of the stuff that you actually have to buy. I went down the wrong side of the stairs. Early in the game, and now it's basically knowing where to navigate and the last item to be able to buy, which is honestly not that hard to find and much further in the game. So we're going to end up going towards 2 new dungeons fairly quickly and getting those knocked out. I'll probably stop at the second dungeon. 1, due to recording space, and 2, I want to get this together to be able to edit it for you guys so that you guys have something to watch and I can work on the next section. Because I may be able to do this in 2 parts. If not, it'll get done in 3. And then if there's enough interest in it and you guys want to see the full complete run where you get everything and possibly see the worst ending in the game, we'll do that as well. It helps if I can jump. Man, if I could level up, that would be awesome. I wonder if I level up again at like 100, or if it takes like 200 or something. We're gonna find out. It's about 6 experience per. Alright, here's the next tricky part. You come to this lake and it looks like there's nothing you can do. So you have to equip the blue crystal and then just kneel down. There you go. That's why you need the blue crystal. Again, a lot of this was just left up to player discovery. It wasn't really explained. So I know a trick about this that I'm going to exploit because it's a quick way through this mansion. You can go up and around, which is why the stairs are there, but it's kind of pointless when that's intangible. So you can literally just jump straight through here and go across. Ooh. So we're going to go over here. We're going to try to get the steak before we die. Because I should, yeah, I've got enough to buy another oak steak. So we're going to continue, we're going to go up. He's up. Is he? No, he's not. He's over here. I hate that platform. Alright, here we go. Wait on it, there we go. And over. There we go. Alright. So long as we can get this oak steak, I feel pretty confident that even if we die, no big deal. Just saved us some time. We're going to go back over here. And then we're going to go up the stairs and see if we can actually get the next component of Dracula's. There we go. Let's go up one more and try not to get hit by anything, because if we get hit by anything here, I'm probably going to die. Not the end of the world, just annoying. That's right, that brings me to this jump, which I don't like. You know what, we're going to switch to the other weapon so you guys can see it. That thing hits multiple times, which is why it's so good. Now we're going to try not to flip up this jump. This jump's actually kind of tricky. It doesn't look bad, but when you're on it, it's kind of really bad. You have to get really close to the edge here, to where your shield almost completely touches where you're about to jump, and then jump. There we go. Cool. And we're almost to the end here, believe it or not. Drop straight down, and in we go. And again, make sure not to equip the stake until you get right here. There you go. That's 2 mansions down. So now you possess Dracula's heart. Dracula's heart opens up the ferryman, which will take you to a specific location to pick up another component. So, sorry about that. I kind of cut out in mid-video, and the reason is I ran out of space. I've got a pretty big drive on this external recorder that I'm using to grab a lot of this footage, but I'm recording in a much higher resolution, so it's eating a lot of space really fast. So I may make that a change moving forward, because I kind of got cut off in mid-thought when I was trying to wrap up the video. But hopefully you guys are liking this new format. I think it's kind of neat. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of interesting to get laid out, and I think moving forward it'll make it to where I can make more content for you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content, and it's something I can kind of put out on the regular that you guys can just enjoy. I'm hoping I can kind of cut this into tighter sections moving forward. But if you made it this far, or you made it a ways into the video, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. If you're new to the channel and you found this and you like what you see, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notify bell, and make sure you select all notifications. Otherwise, I won't tell you anything unless I personalize it to you. YouTube's weird. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you come back again. Hopefully you tune in for the next part of this, where I'm going to try to bust through the rest of the game. If I can't, I'll break it up into a couple sections and we'll do it that way. But until next time, happy gaming.